loves Toronto, and his kids love Toronto. Like his son just up in Kovacic for Halloween. So
Obashek's literally his son's favorite player. Like,
exactly. Not even his dad. His dad who won the signing. Hello everybody, welcome back. We're back with another video on the 450 podcast channel.
Hello.
Great intro, Daniel. Yeah, we're back.
First of all, before we get into this, Chris, thanks everyone for the support lately. It's been really, really great.
Yo.
It's been super fun too to record.
Yeah.
And just if you guys want to be on the join the club here, join the train. Click the sub button down below, hit the like on the way to 450 subs. That's the big one for us.
Yep, and then 400 or 4,500, and then 4,500, and then 450,000. Yes, and then 45 million. Yes, that's what it is.
The market's really been taking off lately, Chris, since our last video. So.
It has. And some of our free agent predictions, I don't think didn't go true. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I don't think we predicted one right so far. But
I don't think so. We'll react to it probably at the start of the season. But big news for Jays fans here. If you're a Jays fan, which you probably are, considering this is the 5 realistic signings the Jays should make this season.
So you must be a Jays fan to watch this, unless you're a Yankees fan trying to see what Jays fans want.
If you're just a baseball fan, you like hearing our voices.
People do say I have a podcast voice.
Yeah, we had a Braves fan subscribe, so shout out to you. You know who you are.
Hey, the guy can say all he wants. They won the World Series.
I love the Braves, so
yes,
can't hate. But big Jays news: Yimi Garcia signed, 2 years, $11 million. Chris, what are your thoughts on it, really quick?
I think it's a great deal. We actually have a reliever, who's an actual bona fide, glorified, whatever we call it, reliever. He's not like an Aroldis.
He's a legit reliever.
He's no what's his name, Liam Hendricks or anything, but he's a good 6, 7, maybe 8 inning guy, which is what we didn't have last year. We had Tyler Chatwood and everybody else. So yeah, it's good to have one of those dudes. So I'm kind of happy.
And he's
with
also,
that.
I looked him up. He's decently young too. He's only 31.
Exactly, and we got him for 2 years. So this might be we could probably get him for his best years. I would say maybe. We'll see. And plus, he gets to work with Pete Walker. So
I looked up the stats really quick, and then we'll move on to the video here. 2020, he had a .6 ERA with Miami. First half of 2021, he had a 3.3 with Miami.
Okay.
And then he got traded to Houston. He got a 5. So.
Okay, so it's not that bad. Miami is. I would say it's more of a pitcher's friendly park than Houston.
Exactly, and I think Rogers Center's decently friendly to pitchers too. So
sort of. The ball flies out of there. Yeah, it flies out of there.
It's better than Houston, but
yeah,
good move. As long as he doesn't Tyler Chat with us, I think it's great.
It's really hard to be that bad. So I think we're solid there. But we're gonna talk about 5 realistic free agents that the Jays can sign. So who's number 1 on this, or number 5 on this list?
All right. Actually, let's just get the obvious one out of the way here. So obviously, one of the guys he put on here was previously a Jay, and that's Robbie Ray. I think it's a real possibility he comes back.
I really hope so. We know he loves Toronto, and his kids love Toronto. Like his son dressed up as Boba Fett for Halloween. So
Obashek's literally his son's favorite player.
Exactly. Not even his dad. It's not his dad who won the Cy Young is not even his favorite player. It's Boba Fett. So
and Ray had his best season ever in Toronto.
Exactly, and if he can get another year working with your boy Pete Walker, then I don't see why he can't re-sign with us. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of money, so if we put our hands tied with Robbie Ray, then that might restrict us signing other people. But I would love to see Robbie Ray, and I think he's probably the most likely out of this list to sign with us as well.
Oh, I agree 100%. I think he's definitely the most likely. He's going to get a good payday. Especially after they paid Barrios what they did.
Rogers cash, they can do it.
He's gonna get paid. It's gonna be somewhere like 5 million. I don't know, 150, 120, somewhere around there. Sorry, 5-year 120.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get as much money in total as the Cole deal, because I guess Cole had a better track record because he was doing it for years. But Robbie Ray had one good year. He's definitely a possibility to re-sign, and he loves Toronto. We love him. His kids love Toronto, and he said he's
also it's a win now environment here.
Exactly,
right? That's I think a big thing for someone, especially like Robbie Ray, who not old, but he's not young. You know what I mean? This is the prime of his career right here.
Yeah,
so he's gonna want to play on a good team.
I heard Yimi Garcia turned down an offer, a 3-year offer, to go to Toronto because he believes they can win. So if that doesn't say something,
I've heard a a lot of players are really looking at Toronto as a win now season, like win now team. Sorry.
Yep.
And I mean, with the talent they have in the infield and the young starters that they have coming up, and even like Jordan Romano, who's young bullpen arm, they have a real shot if they get a couple more pieces. They're really close. And
100%.
I mean, I'm just gonna segue onto the second guy here because he's actually been tied as a finalist for the Jays right now, and that's Kevin Gausman.
Man, I would love him on this team. Like, the Jays have been pursuing him in 18, 19, and 2020. Like, they wanted to get him all
They might
2
even
or 3
pursued
of
him
those years.
2017, to be honest.
Honestly, I don't know, but we pursued him so many times, and I think that would kind of grow on a player because they're like, this team really wants me, so they would probably treat him well, obviously. I mean, Jays treat everybody well, but like, I think more that because they want Gosman so bad, they've wanted him so bad. I think it's actually a real possible signing. I feel like he'll go back to the Giants. I still think that's his number one, but if they don't offer him the money that the Jays do, I think he's coming to Toronto.
I heard I think it was 3 or 4 teams tied to Gausman. It was the Mets, the Jays, the Giants, and then there was one more. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I only heard those 3, so
I don't remember. But out of those 3, I feel like the Jays and the Giants are the tops, and I think
yeah, especially because the Mets just signed 3 other dudes.
It really depends on what happens with Robbie Ray.
Yeah, if we sign Ray,
I think it depends who signs first out of those 2.
Yeah, if we sign Ray, then I don't think we get Gausman. So,
and vice versa. I think if we get Gausman, there's still a chance we can get Ray, but like it's very unlikely.
And also
Ray's more likely to take a discount than Gausman is.
The funny thing is though is that they're both 2-pitch pitchers. So like if you get one, you kind of have the other as well. Obviously, I think Ray is better. He has a much higher spin rate and higher strikeout rate, but Robbie or what's his name, Kevin Gausman wouldn't be that bad of a downgrade if we miss out on Robbie Ray because he finished 6th in Cy Young voting in the National League last year, which was more competitive than the American League. So he's a good pitcher, but he also did pitch in San Francisco. Don't forget about that.
I agree, and he's not on this list, but I just thought of him. Honorable mention for pitcher that he's going to be super cheap to get starter if we don't get one of these 2 guys who everyone thinks is going to have a breakout season. That's John Gray from the Rockies.
I was thinking the same guy.
And if you look at John Gray's stats, he is the away numbers that he pitched are Cy Young caliber. It's his Coors numbers that messed him up.
It's Coors numbers for everybody. Take him out of Coors.
You take him out of Coors, you put him in somewhere, I don't know, like Toronto. Have arguably, I think, the best pitching coach in the game in Pete Walker.
Yeah.
You could have another Robbie Ray 2.0 right there in John Gray.
And he'll probably make maybe like 13, 14 million if you give him like a 1-year deal to prove it.
Maybe 15.
Yeah. Like he's nowhere. He's not going to breach 20. Like no way because, Coors just kills you. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good pick as well.
I think you can get Gray for 3 years, 20 million. I'm sorry, 3 years, 18.
18 for like all 3 years or in total?
18 each year.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm like that's real steal.
No, 18 each year. So I don't know what the math is to that.
Was that like 50? I don't remember, but yeah, I'm not good at math.
56 million.
56? I have no idea, something like that. I'm terrible at math. Maybe 48. I don't know. Math is not.
But yeah, he is. I just thought of him right now. And he is a really possibility, and I think he's everyone's backup guy. If they don't get these big guys like Ray and Gausman, they'll pivot towards John Gray. So
it is 54 million. I used the calculator.
It is okay. I was close.
Close. We were 2 off. It's fine. Whatever. 2 extra million. But who's the next person on this list? Because there are a few good people, and so who's next?
Yeah, I mean this next guy. I think we both agreed. I don't think Semyon's coming back.
I want him to. Please, Marcus.
I want him. I mean, even me saying I want him to.
You should have seen Daniel with Semyon at the reaction of his signing,
Oh my God. Yeah, if you guys want to see that, go back and watch that video.
Yes, do that.
But this guy he's an everyday player, and he just never really had that chance with his team. But Chris Taylor of the Dodgers is a very interesting free agent guy right now, Chris.
I would love Chris Taylor on this team. He's so good. Super underrated.
He can play so many positions too, which is so nice.
Exactly. He's like Kevin Biggio, but like Kevin's like with a breakout year.
And the right-handed bat,
yes. Like with the right hand, he's so good. I would want him on the team. I had him in fantasy last year.
You could put him at second if you want. You could put him in left and right. You could put him in center. Like this guy, one thing we know about the Jays management, they love guys who can play multiple positions. And Chris Taylor, I think, could play a total of 5 positions on the field.
I feel like if we were to get a Chris Taylor, though, I hate to say this, but I feel like Kevin would be in a trade.
You know what? Maybe, but I feel like Cavan's trade could bring us someone like Jose Ramirez.
Exactly, I know, but I would hate
right?
that. I would hate and love
I
that at the
know it would
exact same
suck.
time. He's my favorite player.
It's
In
a
case you guys didn't
hate-love
know.
relationship there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like
But
Cavan would have a good. I feel like he's gonna have a good season next year, but I don't know. Like his value is quite low right now, but it's also really high because he has so much potential and he plays like every position on the field.
the thing is with Cavan though, compared to Chris Taylor, Chris Taylor's proven it over and over again that he can hit
Exactly.
240, 250 with a 400 on base and come up with big hits in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cavan hasn't proved that yet, and as much as I love Cavan, he still got to learn it. So
he certainly can do like the 400 on base percentage, but it's more of like the contact and a little bit of the power numbers and defense. But you know what? It's fine.
yeah,
hmm
you know, it's also, especially with the state the Jays are right now. By the time Cavan reaches that potential, right? I definitely will think he'll reach it. But
For sure.
by the time he reaches that potential, we might be towards the end of our like competitive window, you know?
Yeah, or who knows? He could break out next year. We really don't know because he had a good 2020.
Who knows? I'm hoping he does, but I think Chris Taylor could be a real possibility, Chris. And then
agreed.
Someone like Cavan or Santiago Espinal could get traded for
Jose Ramirez. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, Jose Ramirez is a clear upgrade between anybody we have at third base right now. He's literally like, would you say the best third baseman in the league? I would say probably top 2 for sure. So
I think he's top 2 for sure. I think that guy, Chris Bryant, who's going to get paid somewhere, is definitely a top 2 guy now.
Good segue, Daniel. To Chris Bryant.
You think Chris Bryant's signed with us?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's not signing with us. He's not signing. No way. I mean, he could.
Last note on Chris Taylor, he is going to cost probably a good amount of change.
Yeah, that's the thing. And Cavan's cheap, so we don't know.
Cavan is cheap, so depends what they do. But these last 2 guys, Chris, I think the Jays should really focus on these last 2 guys. After they get one of their pitchers, either be Ray or Gosman, I think these 2 guys are the next guys that they should focus on, and that's Raziel Iglesias and Daniel Hudson.
Yeah, you just pretty much just want to beef up the bullpen because we know the bullpen was the reason we didn't make the playoffs last year. Bullpen was probably the reason we didn't win 95 plus games.
Game. That's it.
Yeah, and you know who blew one more game for us? Tyler Chatwood, Tanner Roark, other people. So, yeah, there's.
I mean, it was the bullpen was so bad last year, and we've hit the note, like we've talked about it. The bullpen was so bad that your average bullpen pitcher for the Jays was Tyler Chatwood.
So I can't believe that's actually a stat. Like at the end of the year, like we had a decent bullpen. Like what was the guy's name? I forget their names. But
Meza was good.
Richards was
Romano
good.
Romano was good.
Simber, that's the guy. Simber was good.
Simber was good, but
Pearson
they just need one more guy.
Yeah,
like an eighth inning guy.
Eighth inning guy. If you get somebody like Iglesias, he is a He was the closer for the Angels last year, and he did well. Daniel Hudson, he's a World Series
Daniel
champion.
Hudson 2019 had a good team in front of him with the Nationals and literally shut the door on the Astros in the playoffs.
Which was great. He's a good performance guy in the playoffs. So we have so many of those dudes now. We got George, we got Simeon, if he comes back. If we get Corey Seager. So we'll see.
I mean, I think out of those 2, though, Daniel Hudson's the most likely to come here, especially since he's been here before. Right?
Was it him who said his wife likes Toronto, or was that Liam Hendricks? I don't remember. I think
it's him. It's
Hendricks?
It's Daniel Hudson. So, yeah.
I think Hendricks' wife is from Canada though, so I wanted him to come so bad last year though. It's like my number 1.
I know. But you know what? Now we can use some of that money that we didn't pay Liam Hendricks and get someone like Dan. You can get both Daniel Hudson and Raziel Iglesias for the same money you'd pay Liam Hendricks.
Yeah, probably, or even just a little bit more. But then you get 2 guys for the price of almost 1. But then again, Liam Hendricks is great.
Exactly.
So, and then we also have Jordan Romano.
He is great. But imagine a 7-8. I was just about to say, imagine that 7-8-9 combo of Iglesias, Hudson, and Romano.
And then you also have Simber and Richards. Like you're solid.
Richards.
Meza.
I mean, Ross Stripling's probably going to start in the bullpen.
Yeah, you got Tim Meza. You can maybe throw Nate Pearson in there too to throw an inning or 2.
Don't forget about Yimi Garcia that they just signed.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about him too.
If they get
even one of those guys,
at least one of these guys, this bullpen is looking a lot better.
Yeah, and I think even if you do sign those 2 guys, maybe even get one more guy because there's going to be injuries. We saw that last year. When there was an injury, we were screwed.
I was about to say, I think someone like a depth guy, like he has the potential, but he just hasn't lived up to it lately. Someone like Archie Bradley,
Mm-hmm. Or like,
where
or
he went to he was on
yeah,
the Arizona, he was lights on Arizona, comes to the Phillies, is kind of I mean,
that's just the Phillies effect.
right?
It's the
But
Phillies,
Archie
yeah.
Bradley could be a good pick. I mean, there's so many good relievers out here. Like you can even go veteran mode and get someone like Greg Holland.
Honestly, like I wouldn't be surprised if they make a run for Kenley Jansen as well. Like he's good. If he, I don't know if the Dodgers will give him that much money because they already have a beefy bullpen without him. So
I
you
was
could
gonna
see it
say, I
happen.
mean, obviously, it just depends on how much they're gonna want Jansen to give
Exactly.
Jansen,
No,
but
exactly. Yeah, I think he's like the lowest on my list. Even Trevor Rosenthal, I think he's back on the market. We were
yeah,
in
he
on
is.
him last year too, and he was hurt the whole year, so he won't be costing a lot either.
I mean, there's so many guys that the Jays can sign, but I think these five that we listed, plus John Gray, because we kind of talked about him for quite a bit,
Hmm.
is a really, really realistic people for the Jays. I think you might even see them get 4 out of the 5 of these guys. I would say is or 3 out of the
Imagine
5.
dream off season right there. Holy cow! And then we got to sign Vlad to an extension,
I think
obviously.
I think
But
it could happen.
hmm so I think that's
Exactly, that's gonna come eventually. But
yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for
I
this
think that's
video.
good. I think that's it.
Hmm.
Expect more baseball news soon because a lot of players are going to try to sign before December 1st, is what I heard. So
We were really wrong. We thought nobody was gonna sign before December 1st, and now like everybody's
I
doing it.
know.
I guess there's a lot of uncertainty. So and then people
Well,
want to
I
work
heard
with their teams.
there's gonna be like a 2 month lockout from signing
Exactly.
because
That's
so
just
they want to get paid
all of
before.
January. Yep, and you never know
Exactly.
what the market will be in January and February. So yeah, guys, if you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Share with your friends. With that being said, we'll see you all next time when Robbie Ray signs a contract with the Jays. All right, see you. Goodbye. And Max Scherzer.